Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. This is Corbin here from Zoco Marketing, and today we are talking about how much YouTube ads cost. Now, there are a lot of different factors that go into answering this question, but I'm going to jump right in because I know that a lot of you just want to know kind of the general range. I'm not going to make you wait till the end of the video, but I'm going to explain the average cost of YouTube ads. And then after I tell you the average cost, I'm going to then jump into the factors that go into that range, right? There's a lot of different things that go into that. And so I hate to just give you the short answer and then not explain the details of all those. So without further ado, here's the short answer on how much YouTube ads cost. So short answer is it's about 10 cents to 30 cents per view. Now, I have run campaigns where I've seen lower cost per views than this, and I have run campaigns when I've seen higher cost per views than this. But generally speaking, you can expect to spend an average of 10 cents to 30 cents per view. That equals out to, of course, $100 to $300 per 1,000 views. So just kind of keep that in mind that it can be lower, it can be higher. And right now, I will actually jump into an account that has spent just shy of $1 million over the past year to kind of demonstrate the fluctuation in the cost per view in here. After I jump into that account, I'm then going to explain a little bit more of the different factors that go into why the cost varies so much. So here we are inside of an account that has spent just shy of $1 million inside of YouTube over the past year. As you can see, we're looking at March 1st through March 14th, 2020 to 2021. And as you start to look at these campaigns, you can see that the cost per view can vary slightly, but for this case, because we're generally targeting the same audience, the costs are pretty in a very standard range. So as you see, this campaign is getting a cost per view of 17 cents, this one 29 cents, 14, 20, 24, and it kind of goes down. And then as you can see, we have a couple of outliers here that are getting as low as like 5 cents and 7 cents. But we only spent, $500 to $800. The reason why these are so low is because it didn't get spent. It didn't spend a ton, so that can happen to have 5 or 7 cents. But we also noticed that these audiences weren't converting for us, so maybe less people were also bidding on those specific audiences, and that's why those campaigns are paused. Because even though we were getting low cost per views, the conversions weren't there like we wanted them to. And then this one right here, as you can see, it jumps up to 59 cents. This one's targeting a very narrow, very specific high income demographic. And so I think that's why that one was 59 cents. And same kind of story. We were just paying too much for the cost per view there and weren't seeing the return on ad spend. So we paused that one. And then, 20 cents, 2 cents. So overall for this account that has spent almost $1 million in YouTube ads, the average cost per view was 20 cents. So I wanted to jump in to show you that, that I'm not lying about these kind of things. And this is kind of the range that you can be looking for inside of, for YouTube ads. So we're going to jump right back in and I'm going to show you some of the other factors that go into the cost of the YouTube ads. And here are the factors that can affect the cost of your YouTube ad. The first one I think is very obvious is the location you're targeting. If you're targeting places that have a higher disposable income or different things like that, you're going to end up paying more per cost. If it's an area where more people are bidding or trying to get eyes viewing their ads, you're going to pay more for that specific location. The next one is audience targeting. And in the next slide, I'll get into a little bit more of the different audience targeting inside of YouTube and what that looks like. But there are different ways that you can target your audience. And that can be, that in my experience, that has been the biggest factor that has led to the discrepancy in the, the 10 versus 30 cents cost per view. Another factor can be your ad type. And then last is your bidding type as well. So I want to jump into a little bit more of the audience targeting that you can do inside of YouTube and how this will affect your cost. So as you can see here, there are many different ways to target people inside of YouTube. And that's why it's so great. And that's why I love it so much is you can get very detailed into the demographics of who you're targeting. But as you can see here, this is kind of broken out by reach. So up here, you have high reach and then you have low reach. Generally speaking, if the reach is lower, you're going to pay higher cost per view because at that point, as you can see, this is broken out into consideration. These are people who are kind of the top of the funnel. And then over here, these are, as you get lower into this, these are people who are lower in the funnel. And so more advertisers are going to be bidding on those people because the chances are you're going to have a high conversion rate for those specific things. So of course, you have your detailed demographics. That's just where you're putting together your own audiences. It can be very broad. Affinity audiences, life events, in-market audiences, kind of rounding out the top part of the funnel. And then as you get into your custom intent and customer match lists, customer match list and remarketing list, you get a little bit more further down the funnel, and those tend to be more expensive. Now, this isn't like a hard and fast rule. That's like how it always is. But in my experience, this is how it has been, generally speaking, just to give you an idea of where that may be. Now, if you are not familiar with the targeting options inside of YouTube, you can check the description down below. I will have a video that goes through all of these different options, how to use them, how you can benefit from them. So be sure to check out the link in that description, or the link down below, if you want to learn more about targeting options inside of YouTube. Along with how you are targeting your audience, the actual audience niche is very important for the cost per views as well, and we'll have huge variations and fluctuations on that. So there is this blog by vloggerpro.com, and this is actually talking about the highest paid YouTube channel niches, or niches, whatever you want to call it. And what this means is if you started a YouTube channel, you'd be getting paid the most if you had an e-commerce, real estate, insurance, stock market, based on your CPMs is what they call it, which is cost per milli views. Now, if you take this data and you flip the side on why these YouTubers get paid the most, it's because there are more advertisers bidding on video space, on those ad spaces on their video. So if you had an e-commerce channel, chances are you have more people bidding on your ad space, which means if you're an advertiser, you are paying more for those. So as you can see, you have e-commerce, real estate, insurance, stock market, loans, mortgage, lawyers, attorneys, credit, rounding up like the top 10. Those all have things dealing with money or high margins. And so advertisers are usually willing to pay a lot more per view to get people who are interested in videos related to those topics. And then as you can see, as you scroll down, you have, trading, marketing, website hosting, makeup, fitness, and make money. So those are the top niches that you're going to be paying the most to get in front of. So if you are running ads for these kind of things, just expect that to be more on that 30 cents per view kind of range. Now, the last thing that can affect the ads, as we talked about, so we went through the audience targeting, the ads, and then now I want to talk about the ad type. So inside of here, there are many different ad types inside of YouTube, and this is actually taken directly from Google's website. The first one is the skippable ads. Skippable ads are the ones that you've probably have seen the most. They're the most common. So after 5 seconds, you get the option to skip the ad, just as it explains. And that's the first ad type. The next one is the non-skippable. These are 15 to 20 seconds. And obviously you cannot skip these ads. They have to be shown. And one thing about the skippable ads, these are typically 15 to 3 minutes in length. But whenever I run these, I typically recommend having it at least 30 seconds to a minute in length. The third ad type is the bumper ads. These are 6 seconds long that can run, and they're non-skippable. They just run, but very quick. So you have to be very precise with your messaging. And then you have overlay ads. Now, the cost will range so much inside of these different types of ads, but those are the variety that you have inside of there. And Google recently has even is beta testing a few different other placements. I don't have experience in those placements just yet, so I don't want to speak to those placements. But generally speaking, skippable ads are the most popular, but you will pay the most for these non-skippable ads because obviously it's like ensuring that your ads are being shown and people will not skip them. So that is kind of an overview of the cost of YouTube advertising. I know that it's still kind of very general and it's hard to figure out where to go from there, but hopefully this gives you kind of a starting point. And as you start running campaigns, obviously you'll get a better idea of what your cost per view will come down to. In the end, it is a lot of trial and error, which I know sucks. But if you can find the right formula and get things working, it can really be a profitable channel. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop them down in the comments below. I'll answer all the questions inside of there. And don't forget to subscribe if you found this video helpful, and maybe drop a like, and we will see you in the next video.